Hi everybody out there in TV land. Hey, another exciting episode here of Trout Hawk, Skunk Creek Chronicles, day in the life of a guide. I promise I'm gonna do a lot more fishing things and videos, but no part of me or this video channel would be complete without talking about these chickens, because they're a metaphor for what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. Starting them out in March of the 21 and buying 12 little chicks and never having owned chickens before, and just flying by the seat of my pants and learning as I went. I got a dozen little chicks. I still got a dozen hens here. It's November of 22. They're laying eggs. I didn't get them just to, you know, be some kind of an egg producer, and I don't push them in the wintertime. Right now I just fed them some apples and some quinoa and some mealworms and a little bit of their chicken feed. But they have an automatic feeder, and I put a roost in here. This is an old storage shed a good neighbor friend of mine helped me get, and procured it for very little money. It's bomb proof. I'm using a deep litter method of keeping them warm. Last night was really chilly. You can see an automatic feeder there. This is another one I built. It's pretty cool. Built these hen boxes out of egg crates. You can see a couple eggs in there. I did put some heat on in here earlier this fall. We had a real fast cold snap, and the birds are molting. You can see that one over there. It's about naked. Yeah, her name is Linda, and she's about nude about 2 months ago or a month ago, but she's starting to get some of her feathers back. Yeah, they molted here in the fall, and then it got cold, and then I wanted to just kind of treat them right that first cold night, and since that time I've quit having this heat on in here, and it's dangerous, and I don't like the way it's set up, and I don't think you ought to heat your coop unless it's absolutely super cold. This coop is well ventilated. I don't have trouble with moisture. We're in a pretty dry climate here anyway, and so yeah, just flying by the seat of my pants here. Like I said, metaphorically for my YouTube channel, and hopefully I'll just get better and better. I've got a heating element in here, and it keeps their water nice and clean. Boy, they do. What these birds like to do mostly is eat and poop, and then scatter their poop all over everything, their food and everything too. But yeah, they're kind of nasty in that regard, but they're just really nice little creatures, and they really make me feel good being around them, and plus the benefit of the eggs. And I did put a automatic light here. It's solar powered, and it's motion activated, and I did that so that raccoons and predators would be alerted. I haven't had any trouble really. I did have some raccoon problems this fall, and but knock on wood, they didn't get my chickens. They didn't even hardly, well, one of them was inside this chicken run. I've got about 300 square foot of outdoor run for the birds too. I did have a bear get into this container, and because I had food in there, and this little cub bear had crawled over the fence here and rattled around here in the middle of the night, but it didn't get any of the food out, and since that time I've left the food out of there. I put an automatic chicken door here from Run Chicken Run. I'm pretty happy with it. It's activated by the sun, opens and closes. Had some problems with it freezing along these tracks sometimes, and it won't open, or but on those mornings I'm around here anyway to look in on it and stuff, and sometimes it'll snow right here. I'll get a little bit of snow right here, and I think that must affect it, but I think it's mostly from freezing. So I try to be around here when it's really cold. I don't really want to leave these birds like that when it's super cold, or I don't want to leave my place either when it's cold. So if I go away for a night or two, and usually it's when the weather's warm and the birds are kind of fully automated, somebody needs to come in and maybe gather some eggs a little bit, but they're really nice creatures. I mentioned that, and anyway, had to mention my chicken journey, and that's what it is. You've probably seen the camera kind of wiggling a little bit. That's because it's a little chilly out here and my hands are cold. And anyway, so won't bore you with that anymore, but I don't raise them for their feathers for fly tying. I've helped a guy who was a real good friend of mine and his son, and they raised a bunch of birds for feathers, and eggs were a benefit. They had roosters too, and they had some really good feather for hackles, and these hens, you know, they're not, I didn't get them for feathers. I don't know, maybe someday I'll do something like that, but you know, you can get such good quality feathers nowadays. The hackle feathers in the last 30 years, my gosh, the genetics and what you can get nowadays, it's just an amazing thing. What they've done with raising birds for chicken feather, or for feathers, you know, for fly tying. But anyway, enough of that, and thanks for listening.